Welcome to another week's edition of Coast to Coast. The next generation, as they do say. Oscar Allen sitting this one out. He's on the sidelines. Don't fret. He will come back at a later time and date. So I'm bringing in the new crop, the green shoots, a couple of twin peaks, as they say. It was hard to get the cameras on a good level because the head's almost hitting the roof. And the big boys, Jack Williams, Harry Barnett. Welcome. How are we?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having me, Thump. It's always an honour to get behind the microphone and, yeah, with Willow today. So pretty stoked to be here, I must admit.
Yeah, it's a privilege, Thump. Thanks for having me on first time, so looking forward to it.
I'm well aware of that. So give us your background of podcasting, your appearance total, and then maybe what you're eating up in the podcasting realm.
This would be all-time probably my third appearance on a podcast, a couple in the lead up to the draft, obviously as everyone does.
What were your performances like?
Probably a bit average, a bit so-so. Obviously didn't help me bolt too hard in the rankings, so...
You didn't sell yourself well enough, is that what you're saying?
Probably, yeah.
Right.
But, we hopefully build on that, see how we go.
Yeah, okay. What about Duggan's four-wheeling podcast, his four-wheel drive podcast? Are you getting him on
the back chat one? I actually haven't checked it out, probably should. The old man's all above it though. He loves it. So
he tells you about it.
Yeah, he does. He wants to get a plug in there for his business, but that's right.
We'll give it on here.
Give it one.
Wild track. So just camping and four-wheel driving sort of deal that he's hoping to get some of the boys in, I think.
I like it.
See, Huey wears his hat, so
I'm sure we have
look it up.
Plenty of listeners keen to find out more about that here on this podcast. Do you listen to anything else?
No, not really a big podcast listener. I'm all about the tunes, the music, so...
I'm scared to ask you where you go in your podcasting repertoire, Harry. You're a different cat.
Yep.
You're going deep down the murder, unsolved mysteries path?
No, I struggle to podcast listen in my time off. I'm big on like a Dan Gorringe, like Dan Does Footy, which is a new one. I don't mind that.
You're a bit busy TikToking in the car and elsewhere?
No, I don't TikTok and drive. That's not really it's not legal for starters, and yeah, it's not really morally accepted in my friend group. So that's a big thing that I swerve away from, car pun. But no, yeah, podcasting. Dan Gorringe, Dill Buckley, the basics. I'm not delving too deep into that world of things. A lot of footy wannabes in that area.
All right, it was a massive weekend for the club boys. Both respects, the teams getting up first time in a long time, and we got two representatives of both games here. Let's start Waffle, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
So against the past premiers, East Freo, nothing sweeter on the home deck. It's been, do you know how many losing games in a row? Do you know what the streak was?
I know it was long enough to cover my entire West Coast Eagles career. That was my first ever win at the club, first time singing the song. So, yeah, it was a great honour to set the tone for the senior boys on early hours on Sunday morning.
It was a 28-game losing streak, so a Waffle record.
Ooh, wow.
Since 2022, round 10 was the last victory. And talk to us about the song and the middle and how that works, because there's probably more punters that hadn't won a game than had. So how does this circle work? Was there enough representation on the outside to make a circle?
No. So because there were so many people that were starting on the inside of the circle because of the old tradition where if you haven't sung the song yet, you go into the inside of the circle. There wasn't enough people on the outside to, let people know that we've huddled up now, we're about to start singing. So a bunch of us were just standing, not knowing we're on the inside of the circle yet, and then the song just started getting sung. So you read the comments of the Instagram post of our song post-game, and it was why did they start singing when everyone's just standing around randomly?
Just a
and it was actually a bit like that. It was a bit like, what's going on? What are the words? What's the tune? Are we singing the Born is Pride part that we hear when blokes run out onto Optus?
Seems like it's gone by the wayside, the Born is Pride, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good build-up. I actually don't mind it. It gets a bit of criticism. I won't comment on that, but I personally don't mind it.
Would you have put your hand up to lead the charge like Hammer Brayshaw did of the Born is Pride? I think Jake Waterman might have had the mantle for a bit. Would either of you put your hand up and say, look, that's a role for me going forward?
Well, I know when I play AFL Live, they on my PlayStation, they do still sing that. So, but I know that they don't sing it in the full melodic, rhythmic way that, is it Birds of Tokyo do?
Yes,
So-
they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's just-
I personally don't know how I would do it, but if someone looked at me and said, "Barney, this is on you," I'd go, "You know what? I accept that mantle."
How many of the senior boys got down prior to Optus to watch them, Jack, or was it just to tune in from the stream with no commentary in the first quarter? Do your best with your bandwidth.
I got there at half time. There were a couple of boys down there, which was good to see. I'd hope that the other boys were checking out on their phone, checking the stream, because it's always good to go and support the Waffle Boys. And I think it was, like Barney said, it was a massive tone setter for us to see them get the job done over the reigning premiers. So
You remember the last time we played them, or certainly one of the games at the Wacker against East Freo?
Oh yeah,
Because you didn't play. There were only two boys that played that day, and it was Bakes and Diwa.
yeah,
And it was 184 points
yeah,
on the Wacker.
Yeah.
I think I joked on the call that they scored more than Steve Smith scored in his last Ashes knock there at the Wacker.
yeah. I looked at the leaderboard. It would have been about the third highest knocks that the Wacker's ever seen.
So what's that been like, Barney? That was your first year of footy and one that's going to be like no other
Yeah.
in history. How did
Yeah.
you find it all? Because you were one of the healthier ones, maybe not that day,
Yeah.
but for the year. How'd you go mindset-wise?
Well, that day was I thought I was just being held over, but I ended up playing for 9 minutes the next day. So that was a real good tone setter, seeing the
Super
boys
sub.
just wear the badge with a bit of honour out at the Wacker that day. But no, it was an interesting year, to be honest. A lot of forgetting.
Players' names.
Forgetting players' names, yes, but forgetting why we were here, because a lot of it was like a bit of a disconnect when there's only three of us out there. Me, Diwa and Bakesy heavied a lot of the load all year. So it was a bit like, what's going on? Like, we didn't know if this was like the norm or if this was so rare, because like obviously it was our first taste of it. And but no, to be hopefully seeing the silver lining of that cloud, it's a great feeling.
Brilliant for all coaches involved. It's Horse's first win in game number 3. Mixed feelings for yourself, Jack. Do you have any spot reservation of support for the Sharks anymore? Do you get up grand final day? Do you get amongst it? Where are we with the fins up?
I was happy to see them break the drought last year, but no, not when they're playing us. No.
What about last year? Did you really have a crack grand final day with some of the boys?
I can't remember. Were we?
Sounds like
What
it
was
was a good
going
one,
on?
man.
I think I was busy grand final day. I can't remember actually. It might have been a footy trip. So
Picking Barney off the floor and footy trip.
yeah, I was
wasn't
busy
on
handling
any
some of the younger
floors.
boys. So
Sorry.
we actually missed the grand final, but like I said, it's been a while for them, and I was happy to see them win, but. No reservations when I go out there against them, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay.
And sorry to interrupt, but I was only on one floor, and that's the day floor the whole time.
Of the footy trip.
Yeah, I wasn't getting picked up. I was picking everyone else up.
The feedback I've received is that you were in the votes early doors and you fading away. Just went to the tail end of the pack.
Yeah, look.
Is that incorrect, Mayo?
Yeah, but there's an asterisk next to, because I will admit, after a pretty solid performance the first couple nights, my last night wasn't the best. But that's not due to absence or, anything like that. Just sort of performance in general wasn't that great. I was there, but just not giving my all. But I will say there's an asterisk next to my name on that worst on list because there was about 10 blokes left. The old Barley Belly did the rounds.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, I did end up having to get the worst on kit, but there was an asterisk there.
Right.
Yeah.
How many ended up surviving and escaping Barley Belly on the trip?
Under 10 out of the 39 or so that came.
Yeah, that last night was definitely a small group there
Quiet.
going out.
Quiet.
Did you suffer from it?
No, I was
of
a
the
lucky
10.
survivor.
Right.
Yep.
What about seeing, I'll get to a few performances at Waffle, but what about seeing Flying Ryan down back, Harry? That was a different look, something I don't reckon he would have played, God, maybe ever in his entire career of football. But return there, he hasn't played since the Derby, round 3 last year.
Yeah.
Through some hamstring troubles. He looked absolutely pumped to just be out there, attacked the ball pretty hard at every chance he got, laced a few out. How was he feeling about his role in the day?
Credit to him, after missing over a year of football, hasn't lost the smile on his face at all. But no, every time he got near the ball on the weekend, whether it was, because obviously it was a new position for him, I think everyone was just sort of waiting to see, like, oh, what's he going to do here? Like, this is going to be fun to watch. Because obviously started in the waffle. He's got a fair bit of experience in the waffle. But yeah, East Freo, every time he got the ball, just looked to, check their nappy a bit every time he got near it. Because like the stuff he could do down back, like a few weeks ago in Match Sim, he stood on someone's head and then spoiled it, which is just like something you don't see, but it's just like what he brings to that position. And at one point on the weekend, he was bringing his burst off half back, and I was just sort of running alongside him thinking like, oh, if he gets into trouble here, like I'll get a cheap one out the side. He looks at me and yells, "Shepherd! Shepherd!"
Did he point to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pointed to me and Easty and said, "Shepherd."
Mid-ball in hand.
Mid-ball in hand, sprinting across.
Yeah, screen for me.
And it's like, that is absolutely, like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Just having that confidence to strut after missing like a whole year of football. Like, that's unreal from him. So credit to him. Loved it.
He had a scary moment where someone on the far wing grabbed him with a tackle head high and his head piffed off the deck, like bounced off the deck, and he got back up, sweet as. I thought for a moment this would just be a horrendous return to footy, have your concussion, but harder than a cat's head. And do you see that role for him in the future? Let's not talk AFL level 2024. Do you think at some stage of his career they'll send him back, maybe to extend career, or just because it fits speed and precise ball use out the back half?
Yeah, perhaps. Like, you could liken him to a Lewis Jetta in a sense. That skill set, the speed just off the half back, and he makes great decisions with the ball. Every time he's looking up the field, he's going to hit someone on the tit. So yeah, maybe. I mean, we'd love to have him up forward as well. Just his creativity and his pressure. He's the quintessential small forward. So. But anywhere he is on the field, he makes a difference. So it's just great to see him back playing footy.
You got the likes of Clay Hall coming through now. True's been playing some good footy in the middle. Sheeta finding minutes. Gaff finding form down there. A heap of others. Diwa was close to an AFL berth not long ago, travelling. So who knows how close that's getting. Jai's 2 games into an ACL recovery. Kicked 1 goal. Getting up amongst us, almost like a key forward typing role. Mate, Trey Rusco. Oh, what a signing that's been!
Phenomenal,
huge.
Then you got Colin Livingston having a win on his own home deck, which was brilliant. Harvey Johnston's kicked 2 of the best goals of the day. One off the left boot was just sensational. He'll be up and about. He can't wait to talk to about it when I pull him up on him and around the halls here. Jermaine Jones looks a class above from half back. Who do we want to discuss? So you can have one player each of who you want to talk and touch on of the names I've mentioned.
You go first.
Right storyline for everyone. We'll say Harvey Johnston because he's good to see a little eccentric bloke out there on the field just kicking good snags, and they're good snags as well. Like that one in the last quarter that Barney's tapped the ball to him and he's sold some candy and
it's a knock on, not a fumble.
Put them in front. But he's just a burst of energy. It's great to have him around the club in the change rooms. He's gives you everything. So, and he kicked some beauty goals in the Pracky games as well. So it's no surprise to see him take it on in the actual Waffle League game.
He's very bubbly, very up and about. Does that translate to what he's like on field?
Yeah, definitely. He's great at getting under the opposition's skin. Seen that many times so far in his short career, but he's and he just gets around the boys as well. So, yeah, he's a great teammate to be playing with for sure.
Barney, who you want to touch on?
Oh, I'm actually just stoked about the length of that list.
It's not the 3 from last year.
Yeah, after last year when it was, how do you think you went, how do you think DY went? And then maybe Bakesy.
Yeah, I forgot Bakes as well off half-back, who I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in his second year. But who do you want to touch on?
I'll talk about Gaffy, I reckon. Obviously hasn't been probably the best few weeks of his career, but he hasn't lost his smile and lost his quiet charm at all throughout the past month or two, however long it's been, month or so, I'll say. And yeah, no, just the role that he's been able to bring to the Waffle with his experience has just been awesome, and has been a big part of that energy and spirit that we've been loving at Waffle level. So that's what we're looking for, is to set the tone for the senior boys. That's what we're going after. But to have blokes like that who, you know, you could absolutely understand that they drop their head a bit and go a bit insular after, obviously not receiving the greatest news in the world. They're going back to play Waffle after being dropped maybe once or twice in the last 10 years. He's just taken it on the chin, and it's been unreal.
Awesome,
unreal mentor.
Awesome to hear. So the boys, very quick celebration. Then it's pack your stuff, head to Optus for the main event, 2 p.m. bounce. First 4 goals, Tigers, trouble. I think most Eagles fans are thinking, wow, this is not going well whatsoever. They did punch us in the mouth. What were your feelings early doors, Jack? This is full honest time. This is kumbaya session. Get it all out. Did you have worriment in that first 10, 15? Or were you confident that the structures and what you had in place was going to prevail over time?
Yeah, there was a bit of worry. I was starting on the bench, so maybe that was the reason. But no, we had full faith, I guess. We did probably start on the back foot that first 10 minutes, but you could see sort of the tide turn halfway through that quarter when we started to sort of get into our groove, and the forwards started crashing packs, bringing the ball to ground and locking the ball in, and our mids started to get to work at the stoppage. And I felt pretty confident actually when we started to get some goals on the board in the last part of that first quarter. I just felt that we were really hitting our straps, and we took that momentum through to the second and third, and that was sort of where the game was won. So, we started a bit average, but the boys really cracked in and turned out all right. So
very average, Levine, but it came good. 61 inside 50 certainly helped the big fellas up forward.
Yeah.
And one Jake Waterman's had an absolute day out. The Loosh, 6 of the best. PB, wow, clunked everything sort of around ground. There's a heap that didn't result in the 6 goals, where he's just everything's sticking at the moment for the big fella.
Sticky mitts, that's for sure.
So what's the chat like on the day? How many sacrificial leads did you have to have after half time? Is it a bit, mate, I'm on a heater, clear out, do the solid, this is my 50, you work up?
Yeah, well, he didn't have to say that. I think the boys just cleared the way for him. It was nice to see him play like he did. I think it's sort of just when it's your day, it's your day. The ball was just coming to him, and he's just taking everything. So it was awesome to see for the big fella. He's been putting a heap of work, obviously, to get back from where he was last year with that serious injury. But no, it was awesome by him. There were shouts of 10 from the crowd. I remember the start of third quarter, walking back out on the field, and he's gone straight to the goal square and just let the cheer squad sort of give him a bit. So that was good to see. But no, he had a great game, and the boys were able to get around him. So yeah,
sweet and sour, a couple of points with you, Jack. So we'll start with the good. So the massive clunk on 50 in Q2. First goal of the season. No, I'm not. I was going to say in front of home fans, but you kicked one against GWS here.
No.
Oh, do your research, Lump.
Didn't you?
Wasn't playing, mate.
You've played 3 in a row, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone Bulldogs 1 goal is what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Bulldogs. So it was the first goal in front of the home crowd this year.
Yes.
That's
I've half done my research.
That's a clanger.
But what I wanted to say is massive moment. It was so good to see absolutely clunk one. But the 3 goals this year, there's no gimmies. They're pretty hard goals. The snap was outrageous against the Swans.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that one. Against the breeze, I guess, but the ball just came out inside the bubble in there, forward 50, and I just threw it on the boot. It's just one of those ones that goes in, so
yeah,
I was happy with that.
Do you know how many goals you kicked straight in a row now?
What, including last year?
Oh, yeah.
He knows.
5? 6?
6.
6, yeah.
6.
Yeah.
You're on a heater. Don't blow it from
Nothing
here.
more, nothing less, just straight to the middle.
Goal of game's
Takes
decent. You take that at the moment. But the second leading tackler of the day with 5. And that kind of pressure from your big forward, you're not learning too much of that in your basketball days, mate. So is this something you have to adapt to of, crunching blokes and tackles and refining this part of the game?
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, basketball's a physical sport, but you're not really wrapping blokes up, are you?
Not intentionally.
No, I actually had a look and they were all in the first half, so I don't know what I was doing in the second half, but I was on a heater there. But no, it was just that's a big focus of mine going forward, and especially all the forwards, just get our pressure up, and just the ability to keep getting repeat inside 50s. Like you said, we had 60 odd or whatever, and most days you get 60 inside 50s, you win in the game. So just a key focus, and I was happy to be able to get some reward for that, yeah.
All right. The sour part. Is Nick Vlaston winning Mark of the Year? Because he's got up there.
It's a good one. So far, I'd say yes.
How'd that feel? Is it that awkward moment where you're looking for a free kick because someone's just launched into your back?
I don't think I had a chance. I think I was just catapulted straight to the ground with his big flying knee. And I actually didn't really feel it, but I've had a look at the replay and I'm thinking how I didn't get a concussion.
I don't remember this.
Oh, mate, first quarter.
Big hanger.
Absolute screamer. Can't show it to you. Got no.
And
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing it win Mark of the Year.
Oh, so you can feature on the
So
night.
I can, just be part of history.
Have
But,
your face in the books.
you know,
Sign a footy card for him.
I mean, good on him. It was a great mark. Also, JD was underneath him as well. I don't think he's copping as much as me. So
He wasn't part of the
No?
ladder, I thought. He was just part of
Am I
the
reaching
scenery.
there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of the scenery. Because Brocky's tried to go for a hanger himself and just failed.
always, yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't get anywhere near the heights of Nick. Harley Reid, heard of him?
Yeah, can bowl.
Yes.
He's all right, yeah.
So he's had a game. He's had 27 touches, 8 score involvements, 49 broken tackles. He was well supported by TK and Yowie. They've had serious games in the midfield. I know the Tigers are a bit short on numbers. They're missing their top 3 on ballers at the moment, but take nothing away from this mid group that got well on top after the first 10. Harley didn't touch the pill in the first 15 minutes of the game. So he's come to the party. Third quarter, I think he had it 13 times, had 4 clearances. He's won NAB Rising Star. He's the favourite to win the award now. He's into $2 for any gamblers out there. Gamble responsibly. But what are our thoughts of Harley Reid? Like, when every average punter wants us to talk Harley, I'm sure you've had it at least once. What's your stock standard sort of reply or an anecdote around Harley that you can provide? Talk to me something about Harley that comes to mind.
The first thing that when my mates asked me obviously before the season started, they didn't know. They're like, oh, is he really that good? And I was just had an answer for him pretty quickly. Yes. Our first match sim, I think he had got drafted maybe 4 days before, and we did like a 10-minute match sim block at the end of that week. So it's me and I think, Matt Flynn in the ruck in the CB, first CB of the day. I don't remember who won, definitely Flinny. Tapped it down, and Harley was on my team, so I was pretty flat-eyed and lost the hit out because usually if I lose a hit out, the mids aren't too happy with me. But instead of not being happy with me, Harley decides to just get the ball. So he just reads it off Flinny's hands pretty easily, gets the ball, takes a bounce. I think he puts a palm into Tim Kelly's chest, day 1 of training, and just kicks a bomb from outside 50 and it just goes through. And there was a fair few of us blokes just standing there, just like, you're not allowed to do that. You've been here for 4 days. Why can you do that physically? Are your parents Superman and Wonder Woman or something? Like, what are your genetics that you just have that, not only skill but confidence is the big part for me. Mm-hmm. Like, especially on the weekend, his confidence. I think there was some time in the last quarter he had a free kick in the back pocket and he could have just gone down to post, and I think he did end up just kicking it long down the line. But first he decided to just run around the man on the mark. Didn't take a bounce, didn't fend him off, just ran around him. And for some reason he just could, because he just had that confidence and that skill. So there's just a fair bit to him that's just like, why can you do that? Why are you doing that? And why is it the best thing I've ever seen, you know?
How much of it is body power and physique as well as skill?
Big part probably.
Yeah.
But you say that when he's an 18-year-old new into the system, you just imagine how it's going to turn out in a couple of years when he refines that. But like what Barney's just said, that's probably one of those has probably happened every training, one of those goals or something. I remember getting through pre-season thinking I was probably one of the only ones who didn't get sent to the floor by him in a fend off. Happened to be just running away from him, but he's a freak. He's got the swagger and he backs it up on field as well. So yeah,
47,000 odd that went to Optus. To go a great number to go see their winless team essentially to turn out.
Awesome.
They were well rewarded. Barney, that atmosphere of what Optus is like, absolutely cranking. And Jack, like, can you ever prepare yourself for what that is? You know, you've had a game and a quarter now, enough to know on that deck. Jack, you've had enough of them now.
Hasn't been a full game yet, Thump.
No, combined.
It's been about 60 minutes.
Combined, we're almost there. So can you compare? Can you prepare yourself for what that's going to be like?
Not at all. I mean, I'm sure you can when you're Shannon Hearn or Jack Darling or someone that's played, you know, years and years and years to prepare. But in my case, when I've had 2 games, 8 months apart, you just, you think especially the second time round, I thought like, at least I know what it's like when you're out there. But nah, it's the best feeling ever. And credit to all the fans that came out. I was speaking to Matt Flynn in the box. And he's like, we were flying and we were getting 5,000 people out to Manuka Oval at the Giants. Whereas, like, we're not in where we want to be right now, but the fact we're still pushing 50K is credit to everyone.
Do you still get any kind of nerves on Optus Stadium, Jack?
Yeah, 100%. It's an amazing venue to be playing at, one of the best in the world. And I guess it does get easier over time. Obviously, you see, you know, the older you get, the more games you play. You become more accustomed to it, but it's just a great feeling walking out there through a banner now, which is good.
Big pro banner, are we? Is this pro banner team?
I'm a pro banner team. I'm nothing wrong with the Eagle, but I like running through and smashing something.
Would you like both?
Who's to say we can't do both?
Well,
I
know why we can't do both, but
why can't we?
I think it's a numbers on ground type capacity from the AFL that have put tape up, I believe. So you just can't have a whole heap of stuff going on out there. But I understand people wanting to smash through the banner and tradition and yada. But I thought the atmosphere and the sort of the banter that's going on in Eagle prior to run out with just the boys. There's not too many occasions where you'll have just the players and the players only. But that feeling amongst in there and the preparation and that energy seemed like something that you can't mimic anywhere else also.
It was great, yeah. You get to that edge of the Eagle and you all huddle up together in the darkness and ready to go out and explode. It was pretty cool. So that would be the dream, walk out there into a banner, but
maybe one
can't
day.
get it all.
They'll team both up.
I'm probably one of the few that can say I've had the exact same amount of run-throughs in both. So I'm fairly expertise in this area. And I reckon we can do both. I reckon mix them both. Probably not the pyrotechnics of the Eagle with the paper banner. Maybe that could have like a bit of like a health and safety reasoning. But who's to say we can't do both?
We'll put you on the match committee, Barney. We'll get you.
You've been thinking about that, mate.
We'll get your brain ticking over. So just talk pre-season with me very quickly for you two boys, right? So does the club have sort of different expectations of you both as massive men to do with your running benchmarks that they would any other players? Are you still required to do as much running as the others? Talk to me about how that's set. And the same for the gym. Like, you guys are probably expected to be lifting more than what everyone else is. Is there a curve in both these sort of measurements and getting the work in?
Yeah, running is the same as everyone else. Everyone's obviously different. Some are just elite runners, some not so much. Probably on the scale, the big men probably fall down there. But, you know, you're still expected to be an elite AFL fitness by the end of the preseason, or especially have some level of fitness when you're coming back after off-season. And with Matty Innes, he's done a great job with the boys, getting everyone fit. And, compared to the last couple of years, the amount of injuries we've had over this preseason has been, minuscule. So it's been great, the new program. And obviously in the gym, we're still young, our bodies are growing, but, you want to see the big boys throwing weight around. So, we'll definitely put the extras in.
Loosh played
the extra bicep curls, but...
Sorry, Loosh played 98% game time on the weekend. What did you play approx? Are you in the 80? Are you low 80?
Maybe 80 something, yeah.
So your forward line rotation just minuses certain people out of it? Is that how it works? It's like Loosh isn't really part of it?
Yeah, those guys, those season ones, Lush and JD especially, they can pretty much run out full games. So
Is it come off when you want to come off type scenario then?
probably for them, yeah, I'd say so. It's not much me. I have my call.
You get the tap.
The sign goes up and I see my number and I have to get off as quick as I can. So.
Yeah. So you'll always start off at the start of a quarter then?
Not always, no. Some quarters, this is just how it's been the start of this year. I've usually start the game off, and then if I go off 2 times in that quarter, then I'll start on the next quarter.
Right.
So just managing the game time, but I'm also dependent on how Bailey's going as well. Like if he needs me to do a longer spell on the ruck, then I'll do that, obviously. But if he's going well, then I'll just listen to what the boys on the bench are saying and come off when I have to.
I would find that there's nothing worse than starting on the bench in an AFL game, or in a game of footy. But the AFL is even worse because the amount of pump up, anticipation. I was talking about this with Coley, and Coley's like, "No, I'm happy to start bench." I'm like, "You're mad!" Like the amount of just energy that you have to get. They've got the pump up tunes, the warm up, the crowd, everything, and then you just go sit down and just chill. 5.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind it. Like, yeah, you can say all that, but I get to the bench and I sit down. I can take a couple of breaths, and you're still pumped up, but you get a time to have a look at the game, see what's happening. I can have a look at the rucks at the centre bounce, see how the oppo ruck's going. I can have a look at the forward matchups, and then when I come on, I'm probably a bit more not necessarily ready, but I've had a good look at the game. I'm not just seeing it how it is on the field, so I don't mind it. I'm happy to start on the bench if that's my call. Yeah,
I don't like it. Sorry to contrast that, but I don't know. I've sort of always had this thing where, because I'm a ruckman, have been since under 16s now, so 5 years. Yeah, if I'm in the starting CB and I get my hand to it, that's where I know okay, I'm hopefully going to go pretty well today. Whereas if I don't get my hands to it, or if I'm not in it, or if I'm on the bench from starting forward, it's sort of like, okay, now I need to build my way into the game, but it's not that confidence that ticks me over where it's like, all right, I'm on here, like I know I can beat this guy with my jump. I know that I can bring my other tricks to the table. So some people love it because they can read the game, but I personally, I like to be, as a ruckman, involved in the very first thing in the game for the whole day.
Makes sense.
Yeah, get the mindset in early.
What about pre-season and what we were talking about earlier with benchmarks and expectations about bigs v littles, gym and running?
Yeah, well, I've like to say I've got a pretty good tank as a tool. So my running program, yeah, as Jay Will said, we've all sort of expected to be at an elite level of fitness by the end of the pre-season. And that doesn't mean come in day one of pre-season after having not walked for a few weeks. Like in the off-season, you've got to do all your programming and do all your running and do all your weights. But yeah, no, before the pre-season this year, Mark Kilgallen, Killer, our gym coach, gave me a bit of a chip actually, and like said in front of the group, I reckon.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I reckon Barney's probably paying the least in betting odds terms to come back as a castaway. So full beard, long hair, skinny.
Just go back to
unfit,
SA and
doesn't talk to anyone. Then comes back in shocking nick. And I reckon he knew what he was doing. I reckon he knew that was going to roll me up.
Did it?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I came back in hopefully pretty good nick, I reckon. I wasn't breaking any records or anything, and obviously I've still got lots of work to do in my gym and all that sort of side of things. But
well, you don't do 2Ks anymore, do you? So you got no other benchmarks to compare your 2 pre-seasons, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't do a pre-season in my first year.
It's true.
Yeah, because I had a bung ankle. Research thump over here.
It's a bit too far back for me.
Yeah. Nah, but so it was good to get a full pre-season in this year, which probably was set by a good benchmark in the off-season back in Adelaide.
Who are absolute beasts in the gym or on track that the fans might not be aware of?
Ooh. I was going to say Ruben, but he's not exactly a sleeper.
Yeah.
He's not flying under the radar at the moment, no.
I think Baz looks a lot leaner and like thinner when you watch him on the big screen or out on the deck than when you see him in the gym. He can bench press ridiculous amounts.
Yeah, he can move.
And yeah, he back squats, front squats a fair bit too. So his uppers and lower bodies explosiveness and strength is, pretty much the benchmark for me as a ruckman.
It's a good answer, but people might anticipate the 200 centimetre, 110 keg bloke as being a bit of an animal in the gym. What about someone that you might not pick it?
I was pretty shocked to find out young Locke Rawlinson benches the same as me. So not saying I'm strong, but he coming in as a young 18-year-old, little small forward, he's deceptively strong.
Yeah, and he'll tell you about it too.
Yeah.
So it's not deceptively if you know him. It's deceptively if you don't. But
how far away was he, his home from yours in SA? Have you two bonded together as because there's only three of you, right?
Yeah, fair bit of bondage. So he... so he grew up in the hills, but he played a fair bit of footy at Mount Lofty Devils, which is my best mate's footy club. And then, a bunch of my mates played footy against Mount Lofty, for Mount Lofty, so up in the Hills Footy League. Shout out all of those boys. I had lots of connections with him. I played a bit of state footy with him in the pathway. So, and as we've sort of grown closer together, we've found out all these connections we have because it's Adelaide.
What about Lukey Edwards? Is he left, right, out, or is he part of this magnificent tripod?
Lukey is sort of in the Hall of Fame up in Glenelg sort of thing, that Bay area with his old man. So he's a bit disconnected to the common man,
right?
Like Locke and I. He's out Henley, which is a fair way out of I'm in the foothills and Locke's in the hills. So. Yeah.
All right, I'm with you. Okay, I'm going to get to some fan questions now, and I'm going to send you on your way. So you happy with that?
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else you want to add, you just jump in at any point. But Sydney H wants to know the hard-hitting stuff. Top 3 packet of chips that you're going off the shelf.
I'll go Smith's salt and vinegar.
Ooh.
Just with a bullet, number 1.
The Red Rock Deli sweet chili sour cream.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot what they're called, the green Doritos. The green packet.
Not nacho cheese.
Mexicana or something.
Americana? I don't know.
It's funny you
they
say
got
salt
a
and
good
vinegar.
taste of them. Yeah.
So Oscar Allen's admitted, in his confession sessions here, after bad away games, he would just get monster family packets of the salt and vinegar and just sit on the couch and,
They're very addicting.
No. They sting.
What are you going with?
Do shapes count?
Yeah, I'll pay it.
Nah, I feel like flag on the play there. I don't think shapes count. If shapes counted, it'd be a completely different list. But for the sake of the game, I'm going to go bags of chips. Number 1, I'm going to have Smith's chicken chips.
That's a number 1.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
It's a bit different.
No, it's not. I just remember a Melbourne trip with Dad when I was 8, and don't know financially if we were struggling or something, but he just served up these
What, breakfast, lunch and
red
dinner?
rolls with Smith's chicken chips in them, and it was honestly the best meal I've ever had in my life. I don't, obviously,
What are they doing in SA?
Dad's a doctor, so I don't think we were really struggling in that side of things, but no, it was just phenomenal. And then at 2, I'll have, what are the green grain waves called? What's that flavour? Don't know.
I don't know the flavours, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, phenomenal. And then at 3, I'll have Red Rock Deli honey soy chicken. Just great stuff.
Good variety there. All right, continuing on food in general here. We've got Giselle saying, Harry, what is your go-to yochi?
Yorks.
Yochi worker.
Yeah, shout out Yorgs. Not in WA side of thing, Yorgs, but a guy from back home I know called Yorgio is the national recruiting manager or advisor or something.
What's happening right now?
So at Yochi,
right?
So he hooked me up with a little spono. So I get free Yochi if I put it on my story.
Is this your only sponsor that you've got outside of club?
Asics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, get some free boots sometimes.
What size shoe are you as a big man?
Not actually as big as you'd think. 12, 13. Whereas you're
Must be nice.
18.
15.
It's truth. All right. So flavour?
Favourite flavour, I like a salted butterscotch with a mango on the top, and then maybe some crumpled cookies, cookie crumbs or whatever that's called over the top, and then a bit of butterscotch sauce. But don't tell Em, the dietitian, please.
Okay. And where can you get your yoch if you're giving them shout out and plugs?
So here you can get it in WA. We can get it in Vic Park, Karrinyup, Leederville, the opening one in Mandurah, and there's one in Freo. And then if you're back home listening in Adelaide, I think there's one at Henley, Glenelg, Norwood, and then one in Chinatown in the city. So if you're in need of a sweet treat, source out those locations.
Yeah, that's enough. They're not paying you that much, surely. So Cameron Mulvey, how did the Liverpool game go on Sunday, Jack?
We lost to Crystal Palace, and that's probably the title done. So, and he is saying that because he's a Crystal Palace fan. So I'm not happy.
Do you stay up for these games? Are you that big a turbo?
Well, it was the early kickoff, 9 o'clock, so
that helps.
It was good. Luckily, I was in a good mood after the win, but the boys, the wheels are falling off towards the end of the year. So
what a shame. Your fave Tay 07, favourite mate at the club or best mate at the club? Who are you locking in? Aren't you living with JJ right now?
I am living with JJ,
Yeah,
but
give him a shout out.
that's more of a brother situation. He would be my best mate. But
how's that living situation going though? By the way?
Yeah, good. House is clean. Izzy Winder's just moved in, got delisted last year. He's got a dog. Archie broke his leg, so send your condolence out to Archie, the dog. But in terms of best mates, I like having Locke Rawlinson around as a little buddy, teaching him the ways of the world at his young age. And he's really obedient too. So I went shopping for a TV the other day and I saw this TV, said it was 75 inches. I didn't know that was diagonal at the time. I was like, that doesn't look like 75 inches. That looks like it would fit on my cabinet. So I said, Locke, can you lie down? I want to get a reference. He literally did not
didn't question it.
Didn't question it. Didn't say like, I'm not lying down on this JB Hi-Fi floor. Didn't question the people around watching. He genuinely, it's so unlike him. He's always kicking up a fight too. He just lays straight down. Locke Rawlinson, I called him at the time. I've got a picture of it if you want to flash it up on the screen. It is phenomenal.
Oh.
It is the greatest picture I reckon I've ever taken. Locke Rawlinson.
Solid mateship effort. I enjoy it. All right. Very good.
Who's your favourite mate?
Hang on, is he Winter playing Waffle this year? What's he doing?
He's playing at the South Freo Doggies.
Right.
Playing good footy too.
Did he play against us and
dine
out?
Had an okay game.
Dinner that night was pretty interesting. Back at home.
Okay. How'd the dog's leg break? What'd you do to him?
I think he jumped off a bed and didn't land properly.
Struth.
Yeah. It was his favourite activity too, jumping off high surfaces.
No more.
He's pretty flat about it.
Best mate, Jack.
Oh, I might say Jordan Baker, although I'm not happy at him today because he drew some profanity on me with a permanent marker in the locker
would you
room.
pass out on the floor or something?
No, I just thought he had the decency. You know, everyone does a gag. You know, you can might leave the lid on or whatever, go draw on someone's back, pretend you're drawing on him. Turns out he had the lid off. Took like 10 minutes to get it off my back. So
what did he write? Not very nice things.
He didn't write. He drew.
Right. Yeah.
Some objects. So
right. Say no more.
We'll leave it at that.
He might be off the list as number one then.
Not happy with him.
Blandular fever. Harry.
Yeah.
Is Gotham safe?
Is Gotham safe? I want to get rid of this Batman thing.
Like, you started it. Why did you do it then?
It's not a thing. It was
so many people have asked why Batman.
It was a punishment 2 weeks before I got drafted at like a mate's house and said, I don't remember what I lost, but I had to put my favourite superhero in my username or something like that.
Let me ask you a question.
Then I got drafted 2 weeks later and now apparently I'm Batman.
Be honest, I'll go find the vision if I have to. Simo gets all the players up in front of the team and says, do you have a nickname? Did you say Batman at the time?
No. I'm pretty sure X O'Neill or I'm pretty sure maybe Ozzy. I think Oz said it because he was like my mentor at the time. He said Batman, and I would put my life that I wasn't the first to say Batman. I might have said, Batman.
And just roll with it,
but I would not have been the first to put up.
Before he even got back at the club, the word was around calling Batman.
So you don't like it. You don't want it anymore.
No, I'm happy with it. I don't mind it, but It's just not as deep rooted as everyone thinks. It was a thing for 2 weeks before I got
It's not his alter ego.
There were so many questions about it. Declan Pepink, do you know that can Willow do the Gwitty when he kicks one this week? Does this make sense to you?
Perfect.
Who is this punter?
Oh, look, probably not. No, I'm not sure actually, but probably not. Probably a bit ridiculous, but
What's the Gwitty?
the
gritty.
just the gritty. Come on, thumb.
No, but I know they actually put Gwitty.
Yeah,
the
probably
Gwitty.
because you're doing a Fortnite accent or something. It's
Oh, right.
I've got brain rot from TikTok, so I can understand.
Yeah.
that
Oh, you
sort
can
of stuff.
translate the 39-year-old thumper.
Yeah.
Your two ages equal mine. It was pretty depressing to start. There was another one about that. There was Faz Warren. What's your new favourite drop spot for Fort?
haven't played
Yeah,
since
I don't know the new
Fortnite.
map.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you grown up?
Wasn't
you two,
happy
have
with
you?
it.
No, this was like 2 months ago when they brought back the OG Fortnite.
Yeah, it's
map.
been a while. Yeah.
Oh, they're going on to new maps.
Yeah.
Oh,
They do it like
Who knows
every
what they're
few
doing
months. Yeah.
Oh,
We're
I only
back
know-
on the gritty.
We back there, are
Yeah,
we?
we're back on the gritty. Jay Willow.
Yes.
It's the best gritty ever.
Oh,
He was late to something once or something, and as a punishment had to
Didn't-
dance in
oh,
front of the group
yeah.
and just hit the nicest gritty that anyone had ever seen.
so you've got it in the back pocket if you have to go to it.
Yeah, it's there. It's there for me. We'd have to be probably 100 points up
What
to
if you
even think
kick
about it.
What if you kick the goal of your life? You know, would you do it of a
Jack
goal
Grittians?
celebration?
No, still not.
It's just not you.
It's no. It shouldn't be anyone in an AFL game, if I'm being honest.
Jay Bastian, who's winning the Derby medal? Get a tip and look like a mad dog if it comes off.
Jeremy McGovern. He's been in ripping form.
This is a reach. I reckon Liam Ryan's coming back and dominating.
Oh,
Not one more in the waffle. What did he play? 3/4, maybe?
He reckons he's up for selection this week. And I'll take his word for it. He reckons he was asked to play last week and he said no. So I'll say if he's ready, he's coming back and chopping up and getting the medal.
Okay. All right. That's almost it. You got anything else for me before we wrap, boys? Thank you to all fans that wrote in, took the time, asked some questions. I'm just checking here real late if there are any bangers to finish.
I'd love as many questions as possible.
Yes, but have I missed anything? I told you to do a bit of research and bring
Yeah.
some stuff for me. Did you bring anything else in?
Did I bring anything? I'll check your text.
Do you want to take the wheel and drive for a minute while I look?
Yeah, I'll talk about
have you got something on your arm, Barney?
a little ladybug for good luck. And yeah, I think I needed some good luck in my life. And yeah, no, it's providing pretty well.
Matching?
Matching. I do have it matching with my mate, Finn Murphy, 337799 is his Instagram. Finn Murphy, 337799, I think. And yeah, he's got it in a different area that's probably, I probably can't describe it, but it's near his waistband.
Just below it.
Just below it, yeah. Or maybe just above, but no, shout out Finn. We got the matching ladybug.
Palmer or Palmy?
Palmer. No.
Palmy.
Don't South Australians say Palmer?
They say Palmy.
Nah,
And I've
Vicks.
never said
Oh, the
Palmer
Vicks say
in my
Palmer.
life.
Do you think the pie floater should take off over here? What are your thoughts as a South Australian on the pie floater?
I don't want to. I know people actually do enjoy them, but it's one of those things we claim because we claim, and I don't think anyone actually, when they have a pie, think, "Oh, this would be better with pea soup."
Tell him what a pie floater is.
What is a pie floater?
Some people have it with mash, some people don't, but it's like a meat pie, just bathing in like pea soup. I'm pretty sure, but I've never had it.
That sounds British.
No, it's just South Australians are so patriotic, and I love it. And I'll be the first to stand up and defend my home city and state. But they've got some weird stuff that no one really like backs in.
You know what I back in is the O-Barn. Big time.
Yeah.
So the O-Barn, first time I saw the O-Barn, I thought the bus driver was just having a massive mare and going down a train line accidentally. So it's a bus that turns into a train.
It's phenomenal.
It just drives onto a track and then all of a sudden it's a train for a while and it's like, I'm checking off this line and then goes out to the street and drives. And the first time I saw it, flipped out.
Train with wheels
Nah, so it's
or a bus.
A bus
on a
with train that can go on train
It's
tracks.
pretty easy to spot the Victorian when you're driving along that straight because you'll see a little Ford Focus in the tunnel or something, and with like a fire and what are they called?
What, fire truck?
Fire trucks.
Fire ambulance.
Yeah, and just like a whole lot of emergency services trying to get the Ford Focus out. But you can tell pretty easily because no locals doing that. Yeah.
All right, man. Boys, debut. Fantastic work, Jay Will. We'll see you back in no time. Barnett, you belong behind microphones. You've done a good job. Boys, good luck in your respective games on the weekend. You both, if you're playing Waffle, AFL, doesn't matter where you are, we're both at Optus. So more good feels this weekend.
Down there.
Exciting.
With the double win. Cheers.
Get around it. Thanks, Tupper.
Thank you.